Rex Insurance. You are not alone.
The month of February is usually set aside to celebrate love, either by gifting, by sending messages. But not all love are popular. Some love go unnoticed. Some love are very, very intentional. Today we are going to be discussing something that you usually don't associate with love, and that's insurance. And I'm not going to be doing it alone. I have my colleagues with me. My name is Chioma. Welcome to another episode of Gist with Rex. And I'll allow my colleagues to introduce themselves. So on my right,
my name is Chioma Wachiku.
And my left,
I am Franklin Akintomide.
And I'm Orolu Asoyawo.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I hope you're ready.
I'm trying.
Yeah, true. All right.
Yeah.
So we are ready to discuss. Is insurance an act of love? I'm sure you're wondering, how are we going to take you round on this journey? But stay with us. And I'm sure that at the end of this episode, you're able to see that, yes, insurance is indeed an act of love. So I'm going to ask you, beyond feelings, what does real love look like? Chioma.
Okay. So, thank you very much for that question, Chioma. That's a very wonderful question. So, because a lot of people have a notion about what they think love is. Love is not just about saying, I love you, and that's the end, and it ends there. You don't show that you love, you don't take further actions to show that, okay, you really care about this person. Love is going the extra mile. Love is showing consideration, putting people that you care about into considerations, thinking that if anything should happen to me, or if anything happens, if an unforeseen event happens, emphasis on unforeseen events, because I feel like that unforeseen event, when you plan for something that is not seen, it really shows how much you care. Because I mean, if you already know something is going to happen, you already know it's going to happen. But when you actually think about what can actually happen if I'm not there, or if something bad happens, how can I plan for that thing? That really shows that you really care about people that you say you love, not just saying I love you, and not putting them into consideration. So love is putting people you care about into consideration in all aspects of life.
Chioma has said love is not only what you feel, but what you prepare for. Exactly. So I'll allow Franklin to give his own thought on that.
Basically, love I would say is more of an action word. It has to do with a lot of actions. So you don't just proclaim you love without taking actions on the love. You see, most times we tend to want to reassure people verbally alone. I love you, and we tend to leave away the action. So I think love is more of actions. You have to back what you say with actions.
All right, what do you think?
Just to add to what they both said, I think love is selfless. Love is doing things for people you love, and putting into consideration how they will be or how they would move on when you're not there. You're thinking ahead. You're thinking about, if this happens, how do I ensure that I mitigate the harshness? How do I ensure that this person is not put in a detrimental position? And then you can do things like insurance. That's what we do, buy insurance for your loved ones.
Yeah.
For instance, Valentine's is coming, and I'm sure there are people who want to buy like a car for their wives, their babes, odogu. And you go and take an insurance cover, knowing that, okay, if I take a comprehensive insurance cover for this car, if anything happens, my wife, my babe, my guy, my husband is covered. Yeah.
So what we've said now is, in case you have a car as a Valentine's gift, just add insurance to it.
Wow.
So that way, you're not saying, this person, if the person is driving, not going to have accidents, and I'll cough out extra money to fix the car. But that insurance you've taken, you've thought ahead, you've planned ahead. Great stuff. So how does responsibility show up in families, relationship, and work? Franklin, I'll start with you.
Okay. Responsibility is like my colleague has said, like Chioma has said, it goes beyond the usual catering for the family. I want to get foodstuffs, I want to pay for school fees, I want to provide house rents. It goes a long way. You have to think ahead. what happens when I'm not around?
Yeah.
What happens when I'm not there to provide these basic amenities for my family? What would they live on? So you have to always think of how you can provide even when you're not there, not just providing when you are there. So I believe when you are catering for your family, your responsibilities should be both when I am available and when I am not available.
Interesting. Chama, do you want to say?
Yeah, so the question is, how does responsibility show up in
Families, relationship.
Okay, so basically, responsibility shows up in different aspects: your families, your work, and what
Relationships.
So in your family, responsibility shows up by protection. How do you protect your family? Basically, do you like buy healthcare for your family? Do you buy like protection for your children? Maybe education. How do you plan for your education? How do you plan for your children's future? How do you plan for your spouse? Responsibility is basically saying, if I take any action, if I take any step further, how will it affect people around me? I'm responsible for these people. So if anything I'm doing, I'm tailoring all my actions to ensure that if I'm not there or if something happens, they are protected, they are covered, their education is planned for, their future is planned for, every other thing is planned for basically. So responsibility also shows up at work because at work you're managing something at your desk. So when you show responsibility, you're basically managing the risks that is on your desk. You're basically saying that let me go the extra mile to make sure that my company is not going to be affected by the actions I'm taking. Just basically putting yourself in a situation whereby if I do this, if I take this next step, or if I take this action, how will everybody around me, my work, my family, how is it going to affect people around me basically? So
all right.
So I'll give you an example. So for a family, like the head of a home, you provide a home for your household. Being responsible is ensuring that you get a cover, like a fire cover, to prevent maybe get some form of accommodation, alternative accommodation should a fire happen. You also insure maybe the properties in the house against theft. You can also insure some of the gadgets that you have for all risk. That's preparing ahead, preparing that, okay, in the event that something happens, we are not put in a bad position.
Yeah.
And we are here to ensure you.
So one uncomfortable truth about love is that it forces you to think beyond
You.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Like you said, selfless.
Yeah.
Love is selfless. So when something happens, who is affected the most? When something happens, who is most affected?
Basically, the persons around you. Because there's an adage in Yoruba that says, I'll interpret it in English, that the person that died is the person that has lost. So basically, when, for instance, this place of death, when someone dies, that person is gone. The pain is beared by his or her loved ones.
That's true.
So when that person is not a forward thinker who has taking responsibilities outside when I'm available, it becomes difficult for the family to actually stand up. I'll give an example. I had a friend a long time ago. His dad was well-to-do. He was actually a branch manager in a bank then, a long time ago. We were still in school, in secondary school. And they were well-to-do. We used to go to their house to play, have fun. Games we don't have in our own houses. We go to play there. Unfortunately, the father died. And within a year or two, things just became very terrible for them because there were no plans.
Right.
Responsibilities were not taken outside when I'm available. So not taken to when I'm not available. So basically, when something happens, the persons around you are they are the first person to feel the blow. So,
does anyone want to add something?
Yeah, said it all.
Yeah.
More than we can see.
So insurance forces us to ask the hard question: if I'm not able, who carries the load? Who carries the burden? And that's what insurance helps you to do. It helps you carry the burden in your absence. If you're not around, if you're not available, if you're even incapacitated at that point, insurance steps in to do that. Many people avoid insurance because they think planning for absence is negative. We know the country that, God forbid, it's not going to happen to us. It's not our portion. Why do you think people resist planning if I'm not there? Why do you think so?
I think, we started from explaining how love is selfless. I feel like a lot of people who avoid it is because they feel like they're irreplaceable. They don't want to be confronted with that reality that I'm only here temporarily and at some point I will depart. They don't necessarily find it easy accepting that reality that if I go, life would actually go on. And so that fear holds them back.
So so I think one of the, I mean, you already said, right, in the country we are in, people don't like to think about the bad sides of things. They only want to think about the good side of things. Like where everybody wants to go to heaven, like that. So I think people find it uncomfortable to talk about negative things. Basically, when you start, I've seen situations whereby people say somebody dies, or the breadwinner of the family dies, maybe the father dies, and there's no will written. Why wasn't the will written? Because they are afraid of, if I write this way, am I declaring my debts or things like that? So people try to avoid talking about uncomfortable situations or uncomfortable scenarios where they're not there because they're afraid of the unknown. You see someone say, I buy life insurance or buy a motor insurance. Someone saying, God forbid, like if I buy this, that means I'm saying that something bad is going to happen. So people generally try to just avoid talking about it because they're trying to just not think about the negative side of things. But that's one of the reasons why insurance is here. Basically, insurance is here to take care of those bad things that will happen.
Interesting. They say the most powerful acts of love are those that go unnoticed. Buckets again. So, have you seen a situation where preparation has reduced suffering?
Yes.
I have.
Care to share? Okay.
So growing up, I had this friend in secondary, not I think primary or secondary, because I didn't really know the meaning of insurance. I was really like small, maybe my secondary, between primary and secondary school, just one. So I had this friend that lost her because the friend already lost her dad, so she lost her mom as well. So her and her siblings were already like orphans because they didn't have anybody basically. But one of the things that happened that actually like showed that this thing planning is a very, very good thing for the family. I think the elder ones got a call. Like they have like an insurance plan, a whole life insurance plan that the mom, not even the dad, mom took out for them in case of anything. So they're already thinking about, my mom is dead, I'm an orphan. What's the next thing? What am I going to do? How am I going to like take care of myself and my siblings and everything? But that insurance plan, I think at that time, I think 5 million was a lot of money. Yes. So they had like 5 million given to them after the loss of their mom to carry on with life and take care of themselves. I think she got an insurance plan for them, and she also got she bought equity in First Bank. So those two things that the mom got for them just shows that she really thought about them, despite the fact that she didn't even think, what if I'm not here tomorrow. She just made sure that she just planned for her children because she know they're the only ones that are here and nobody else is going to take care of them. So this is just like a classical example.
I'll give a very basic example, as small as a comprehensive car insurance. And I was going out with a friend and someone hit us. And when we were arguing, we were running out of time. And after the normal Nigeria, Lagos, everywhere was crowded. And at the end of the day, it was judged that we were at fault and the whole thing. And it only took, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And I would call my insurance and reassuring them that my insurance company will take care of it. And like that, they called to the insurance company, reassured the second driver, and he dropped his car, came the net, took a week and it was fixed. Now, if planning, insurance was not available, there's every possibility that we would spend the whole day there arguing and the police will get involved and take our cars to the police station. So it's very little, but it goes a long way. So it plays a very vital role planning ahead.
All right.
So as far back as when I was in uni, and this was when iPhones were very expensive, just came out. Somebody got an iPhone in my class and it got damaged. And everyone was wondering, how are you gonna fix it? And he came back to school, I think 2 days after, and it was sorted. And everybody was curious, please, because we all have limited pocket money. Where exactly did you get the money to fix your phone? And it's like, he had an insurance cover. His parents actually got one for him. And that was very intriguing, like, okay, so it's possible to get a cover and then your phone will get damaged and it gets sorted out. So
yeah, I lost an uncle like 8, 7, almost 10 years now. And when he passed, he had very little children. And after that, thankfully where he worked, he had insurance in place. You will not believe that it's that same insurance policy that has been used to take care of the kids over the years, their educational needs. So what, after the payout, and then he had pension, which is also a form of insurance. So when the payouts came, we then reinvested the money, put it in some investments, and then it was the profit that we used to take care of. In fact, out of it, we used it to set up the wife, open the business for her, at least to take care of daily needs. And then we took the remaining part of the money to take care of educational needs. Some of the kids now are in university, and when he passed, they were still in primary school. So you can imagine how long the money has taken them. So you cannot overemphasize the importance of planning. And planning ahead is also a form of love. There are different ways to plan ahead. Even if your savings, whatever it is, but just make sure that always think of when you are not there. The example you gave about a will, we know how these things scatter the family once the breadwinner is gone, and how people turn against each other. So I hope that we've been able to show you how insurance can be an act of love to everyone around you. And I'll just give you 3 takeaways concerning love. 1, love is not just emotional, it's very practical. It's not just by the words. Like he said, it's a doing. We have to see you in motion. Caring about people means planning for uncertainty. What happens when I am not there? And the 3rd is the best protection is the one you never have to talk about. It's in it. After you are gone, you're like, oh, so daddy really did take care of us. Mommy did take care of us. They feel...
That's how those my friends. They're so shocked at the fact that mom thought about them. Like, it's just shows that this is love, basically.
Do you understand? Exactly. Very, very intentional. So in closing, do you have any closing remark before we close this episode? Do you have anything to say?
Basically, as you're getting that guy, his Valentine's gift, getting him a car, a house, getting
your phone.
A phone.
PS5. You can insure it.
Get it insured.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything in closing?
So, like you said, get your products, get your car, your phones, everything insured. Insurance is just like a practical way to show someone that you really care. Like the fact that you can take out an insurance policy for somebody that you care about is one of the greatest forms of love, basically. So get an insurance cover for your family and your spouses.
Insurance is not a waste of money.
Exactly.
It's not a waste of money.
Love it.
That event, that situation that you think would never happen, will someday happen. And you need to be prepared. So yes, come to us.
So like I said in one of our previous episodes, I said risk. They don't take out a calendar invite to say on the 10th day of March 2026 I'm going to happen. It doesn't. And that goes to show that insurance is not about fear, it's about care. It's choosing to protect people from pain you may not witness, because sometimes you won't be there. Because even when there's an accident, you may not even be there when that accident occurs. It's someone that you love that will be. And then it's about loving responsibly. It's about preparing quietly. So when discussing love this month, try and prepare for uncertain times. Try and prepare for times that you will not be there. And we're not here to scare you, but just trying to say, I love my family so much. I love my friends so much that I don't want them to suffer when I am not available. Now, available doesn't mean death. Available means you may be miles apart. You may not be close to each other. You may not be in the same geographical location, but you have taken steps to ensure that they are adequately protected and covered. So, as we wrap up, I'd like to tell us to talk to people that we care about insurance and try and say, okay, how can I protect my people?
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. You see how we are ending it on a very calm note. Thank you for listening to us on this episode of Gist with Rex. We hope you've taken out 1 or 2 lessons. Follow us across all our social media platforms on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, wherever else. Just follow us at Rex Insure. Send us a DM and we'll be willing to talk to you. Thank you so much and see you on the next episode. Bye.
Rex Insurance. You are not alone.